Right, welcome everybody to the 97th Friday morning warm-up, and we're still working our way through the keys of the blues, or blues in the various keys, working our way around the circle of fifths. But we will start, as always, with just a little bit of clapping, just to free ourselves up a bit, limber up a little bit. And so I'm just going to put onto the screen the clapping pattern, and we'll do the one that we did last time, because I know how much you loved it. Yeah, relatively straightforward. If you were on the Jazz Fix course, Mark Cecil did a warm-up one morning outdoors, and he got us to do something similar to this. And it's 4 bars. It's a lot shorter than his one. His one lasted half an hour. 4 bars, and you clap on beat 1 in the first bar. You clap on beats 1 and 3 in the second bar, so there are 2 beats in the second bar. The third bar is divided into 3, so you've got a triplet to play there, and then, or clap rather, and then on the fourth bar it's back to it's 4 claps on each, one on each beat, and then you just go through that cycle. So I'm just going to set the timer going. Well, you can tap your feet at the same time. Walk your feet at the same time if you wish. And if you're not sure about the triplet, just listen to me do it a couple of times. I'll try and do it as well as possible. And then here we go. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1. One, two, back to the beginning. Up, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Do that one more time, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And stop. Good. Right, let's just grab our instruments, and we're focusing on B flat. So it's not actually B flat major, because we're doing a blues. Doing the blues scale and doing the dominant 7th arpeggios. So even the B flat dominant 7th is not strictly speaking in the key of B flat, but the root note is B flat. So I'm just going to twang along for about a minute on B flat, and if you'd like to start warm your instrument up, warming your fingers up, warming your lungs up, your lips, your embouchure. Try some harmony notes. Try singing that note. Not sure about that last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Good. Right. Let's do the chromatic scale then. So this is going to be starting on B flat, up to concert B flat, and back down again. So all the way through the 12 semitones to the octave, and back down to the beginning again. And that sort of speed. So not too fast. Here we go. After 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now down. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just speed that up a little bit. So after 4, a bit faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do it 2 more times, both much quicker. So, good deal quicker now. After 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, singing along. Always a good thing to do if you can. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the chromatic scale part of the morning, and we'll move on now to the exercise sheets, if you'd like to get that. So we're into the main exercise sheet now, and as I said, it's a B flat blues, so we're talking concert here, so that'll be C blues for the tenor instruments and G for the alto saxophones. So B flat blues, it's probably, we're into jazz territory now, because we started off a few weeks ago doing keys such as A and E, the A and E blues, and that was very much for blues rock guitarists and blues guitarists in bands that tended not to have trumpets and saxophones. But when you get into the jazz sort of territory, the blues keys tend to be, for example, B flat, C, F, and this makes it a little bit more straightforward for the wind instruments, which are in different keys, of course. So because we're in a B flat blues, that means that the tenor sax, for example, is in C. Although some of the notes are flattened, it still doesn't make it that much easier. It's not quite the same as playing in an E blues, where the tenor would be F sharp, which is not particularly nice. So so we're looking at a common key for blues in jazz music. And as I've always said, you've got the blues scale, which is very much a minor sounding scale because it's got a minor third, particularly, and a minor seventh. But the scale is often used over a major blues, where the chords are often dominant sevenths, sometimes even major chords, but dominant sevenths. And you'd think you'd have a clash with this minor third in the scale and the major third in the major chords. But in fact, you tend not to, because of the sound of the blues, which we're all very familiar with. Singers in the old days, in the blues days, would have perhaps been singing a song in a major key, but they'd naturally flattened the third as part of the blues feeling and sound. And they wouldn't necessarily flatten it all the way down to a minor third, they'd be flattening it to a note sort of somewhere in between the minor and the major third. Something they now call the blue note. I don't suppose they did those in those days, but the blue note, which is that little note between the minor third and the major third. Now on a piano, for example, you can't hit that note. There's not a key for it. So tend to play the minor third itself. And this is one of the ways the minor third is developed into the sound of the blues, trying to emulate the singers of over a century ago. So we talk about these blue notes, the minor seventh, the minor third, and the minor fifth as well. And all those notes appear in the blues scale in this first bar on the screen. So we're going to play that first bar. Get the tempo down a bit from that last thing. So we're just going to play the blues scale in B flat concert pitch after 4. First bar only, just once. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just want to identify those minor thirds. The first note is the root. The next note is that minor third rather than semitone higher, the major third. Then you got the fourth. Then you got the flattened fifth. Then the fifth. Then the penultimate note, the flattened seventh or minor seventh. And then finally the root again. Let's play that again. So the first bar, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Onto the second bar, so just the same scale descending. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as some of you may know, the pentatonic, minor pentatonic scale is the same, except it doesn't have that flattened fifth in the middle of those 3 notes that are a semitone apart. So it's just got the 5 notes rather than the 6. So you miss out the flattened fifth and you've just got the minor pentatonic scale, B flat minor pentatonic. Good, good, good. Right, we'll move on now to the arpeggios of the 3 main chords which are found in a B flat blues. So we're talking about a major blues here. And the 3 chords that form the basis of a B flat blues are the 1 chord, so that would be a B flat 7, the 4 chord, which will be an E flat 7, talking concert here of course, and then the 5 chord, which will be an F7. So if you're on a different instrument, a saxophone for example, you might want to just scribble down the 3 for you. So that would be for the tenor saxes will be C, 7, F7 and G7, and for the altos will be G7, C7 and D7. Okay, so we're now going to play the arpeggios of those dominant 7th chords. So we're just looking at bar number 3 now, where it says 1, 7, so that's 1 as in the tonic, 7 the arpeggio. Here we go, after 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And straight away you can hear that major sound, major third at the beginning. Here we go, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just to point out what you're playing when you play these arpeggios, you're playing the root, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and the root again, the octave. Let's do bar 3 again. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, octave. Right, that's the tonic chord, the dominant 7th there. Onto the 4 chord now. So it's the 4th up the scale. So we're going to play that bar number 4, the 4 chord. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 2, 3, 4. See if you can sing it if you're not blowing an instrument. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Onto the 5 chord now. This is the last one. So this is the 5 chord. When I say 5, it's just the 5th. Sits on the 5th degree of the scale. So it'll be concert F7. Now these are all dominant 7th chords, but this is the dominant chord. Slightly different use of the word dominant there. It's a dominant in that it's the 5th of the scale. And it normally, naturally resolves back to the 1, the tonic. So here we go, last bar of that top line. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm playing this at crotchets, aren't I? My mistake, I'm talking and not thinking. Let's play that in quavers this time. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's better. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So that's that. So they're basically the 3 main dominant 7th chords which appear in a B flat blues. Right, let's put those arpeggios that we've just done into an exercise. Same pattern as we've done in previous weeks. We're just in a different key, of course. So we're just going to do the next 8 bars, and this is a 1-4-1-5 progression. So it's kind of following the chords in a blues, but just doing 2 bars on each one. Okay, so we're on the 2nd and 3rd line. This time it is in crotchets, so we'll play at correct time. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it, and resolve that last note up a semitone to get back onto the tonic. Okay, we'll do that again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to the 4th. Back to the tonic. Up to the dominant, which resolves to the tonic. Oops. I said all that and then hit the wrong note. There you go. You can always tell when you haven't hit the tonic. Good. Let's do that one more time and then we'll move on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Resolve. Yeah. Yes, a 5-1. We have done these cadences in the past. No doubt we'll come back to them at some point. But when you resolve that final dominant 7th or the 5 chord back to the 1, you get the sound of a 5. 5 to 1. From a move of 5 back to the 1. That's a perfect cadence, that's known as. If you, all these things you can always look up on Wikipedia and such like, and there's always lots of useful explanations to what, in more detail, of what these things are. That's a perfect cadence. If you're interested, if you go from a 4 to a 1, so a slightly different sound, that's not the 5 to the 1, that's the 4 chord to the 1. That's called a plagal cadence. And it's a sort of the Amen sound, which you hear a lot in blues and gospel music and blue note music as well from the 50s. Righty-ho! We're on to the blues phrases now. So the same phrases we've been doing for the last few weeks, of course, just in this particular key. And they're all kind of, I mean, they're bluesy sounding phrases. They could be treated as licks that you put into a solo if you wanted to. The first one, as I mention every time, is based on the riff from Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. But even that was probably just purloined from somewhere else. There's nothing original about blues phrases. They've all been done before a million times. But it's like when you play them, you're speaking the language. You're playing a recognisable phrase that someone says, oh, that's bluesy. It's because they've heard it before in the same context. And you sound like you're playing you're speaking the language of that music, rather than making something up which sounds nothing like the blues, even if it fits. So blues licks are good things to learn. Okay, let's play that first one. So it's 2 bars long. So second line from the bottom, first 2 bars. Just play it once. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Heard that before. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's loop it this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. There we go. Speaking the language of the blues. If you are somebody who solos over things like blues chord progressions, do remember that the blues scale can be used, obviously with taste, over any part of the chord progression. You don't need to follow the chords in quite the same way that you do if you were using the arpeggios that we've been looking at a little earlier, where you need to really use the appropriate arpeggio over the chord that's being played at the time. So a B-flat 7 over a B-flat 7 chord. But with the blues scale, which is this minor thing, it tends to work over the whole progression, although you still need to use discretion as to when you play it. Alright, we're on to the second phrase now. So this one's got a 2.5 beat rest at the beginning, so you come in after 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, da da da. Off we go. So on to the second phrase. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let's loop that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last time. 1, 2, 3. interesting, this one, because that's got that sound because we started on the offbeat. 1, 2, 3. But if I actually started on, for example, beat 3, it would sound like this. 1, 2. Which has got a different feeling altogether. Especially if you swing it. I'll just give you an example. So I'm going to swing this one. 1, 2, 3. Now do it on beat 3. That was on the end of 3. 1, 2. Oh, a little bit different. Yes, different feeling altogether. Just starting on a different beat. So I've shifted it by a semi-quaver. A quaver, rather. Just something to think about. Moving your phrases, a quaver up or down. Right, onto the bottom line. This one's already got a sort of swing feel to it built into the way it's been notated. So this one does start on beat 4. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, da da da. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. After, here we go again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let's loop that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Yes, when we do the strumming after this, you can try some of these licks over the strumming that I'm doing, see what they sound like. Right, on to the last one, last blues phrase. Let's just play that after 4. So this starts on beat 1, so it will be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. No, let's loop it. Here we go. Let's loop it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Right, when you do practice this, try and practice at a different tempo. Otherwise you'll be very good at doing things at 90 beats per minute. And I think when I do the strumming afterwards, it's at a different tempo, so that will help. Good, okay, well that's the exercise sheet done and dusted for another week. And we'll move on to the chord strummy bit. Oh yeah, it's always worth plugging the circle of fifths. Kind of brings all this sort of stuff together. We've been working our way through blues keys, starting on the right hand side here. I think we did a E first of all, then A, then D, then G, so one sharp less each time in the key signature. Not necessarily in the blues scale, but C, then F, then B flat. We're up to B flat on the left hand side there, so we're going up in fourths as music tends to travel. So we've got E flat next. We will do that. That will be the last one though. You do get E flat blues. You don't often get A flat and D flats. So we'll get round to E flat. So next week will be the last blues one. Just to point out, as we're staring at this screen here, the 1, 4, and 5 that you get in a lot of music, a lot of songs are just simply based on the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord, are always grouped together on a circle of fifths. So if you're in the key of B flat, over the left hand side here, that's the 1 chord. The 4 chord is always the next one round because it's going up in round in fourths. And the 5 chord is always to the right, the clockwise route, F, there. So you always get the B flat, the tonic, so on its going anti-clockwise you'll get the 4th, and going clockwise you'll get the 5th. And wherever you are on the circle, you get the 4th going one direction and the 5th going the other. Those of you into other things like tritones, the tritone of a particular note is directly opposite. So if the B flat is over here on the left hand side, go directly opposite to E on the circle, and that is the tritone of the B flat. So on your circle of fifths, it's like the magic circle, isn't it? There we go. Another thing you can do is all the notes in a key, for example, are in a little group. So the key of C, that's the easy one. You've got C there, you've got F on the left, but on the right, G, D, A, E, and B. It's also a good way to change key for something. So if you've got your notes clustered around a particular part of the circle, like D over here, for example, D and G and A, and you want to change the key, just move it to the key, new key, E flat, perhaps, and then B flat and A flat will replace A and G over there. So anyway, fun with the circle of fifths. I think that's enough fun for the morning. Right, let's move on to the last bit of the session, the chords. I'm going to strum those chords in the top section, and you can, well, you've all done this plenty of times before, you know what you're going to do. So I'll just do that for a minute, just to wind down for the session. Okay, here we go. One. I'm just going to play it straight, not swinging it. Just a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going up to the 4 chord, back to the 1. 5, 4, 1. Last time round, here we go. Resolve to the first chord. Lovely, right, okay, there we go. B flat. One more blues next week, and then we'll be on to something completely different. Within the sphere of music, of course. So I'll stop that, and It's nice to see you all. And
You too.
yeah, okay. We'll see you next week, hopefully. And have a good week. Enjoy the sunshine that we're going to have for a little while. You can unmute
Thanks.
yourself
Okay.
and say goodbye if you like.
Thank you.
No.
David.
Cheers all.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Dave.
See
Bye, everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
Dave.
everybody.
Enjoy the
Bye.
sunshine.
Thank-